Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to the Week 5 UFL recap with me, UFL Jim. Let's go. We have a very wonderful episode for you today. We have takes from XFL and USFL Jim. We have the halfway point measuring contest of the UFL. And of course, we take a gander into the future after breaking down every single game, all the takes, all the emotion. It's all there. I'm here. You're here. Let's go. It's all about me. It's the UFL show with UFL Jim, your one-stop shop for all things United Football League. We have a sexual tension. We have Memphis the heat. We have the power. We have the news. It's all here on the UFL show with UFL Jim. As we take a look back at week 5 of the UFL, it's important to have a couple things in mind. What the hell is Mike Nolan doing, for instance? Switching out Bryce Perkins and Danny Etling when it's so clear to opposing coaches, players, media, fans, probably other coaches on his staff, everyone seemingly except Mike Nolan knows that Bryce Perkins is the one who should be leading the Michigan Panthers. But that, I don't know. That's one of the bigger stories. I think the other big takeaway is we're seeing a lot more parity than we did last year. We're seeing that a lot of teams are still in the playoff hunt. When about, like week 6, week 7, the USFL conference was already locked up. The XFL conference wasn't too far behind it. I think right now it's anyone's game. Everyone has a shot. It's a beautiful point to be in the season. And we're getting to that exciting point. I say it every single year. Week 5 is the point. So in these spring leagues, the XFL, USFL, and my beautiful league, the UFL, we don't have a preseason. We have to kind of feel things up as the season begins. So when we get to the halfway point, things begin to change. You get to the hype parts, and from here on out, it's going to be nothing but adrenaline pumping right into your veins. Another thing, we got overtime. We got our first overtime of the season, baby, and it was electric. It was awesome. There was weird things about it, but that's part of the charm of the UFL. It's something that makes this league so great and so fun. We got kick sixes. We got amazing action. This week had it all. It had it all. We even got a fight. And by fight, I mean a slap. And I don't know what your take is out there for those people that have takes on Samson Nacua. Give him a fine. Give him a suspension. My personal thing that I would do is I would let Samson Nacua challenge that man, or vice versa. I would let that man challenge Samson Nacua to a brawl at the next Panthers game. Well, now that we've gotten to the halfway point of the league, I believe it is important to take a moment and reflect on how we got here and where we might be going. So I'm giving the floor right now to XFL Jim and USFL Jim. They're going to take turns. They're going to give you their opinions on exactly how they each feel their individual conferences are going. Take it away, boys. Now, we've made it to week 5. It's USFL Jim time. Here to talk about the USFL. Sitting atop right now. Of course, you know them. You've seen them before. It's the Birmingham Stallions. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? They're always up top. They're always king of the mountain until they are taken down eventually. Maybe by the Panthers, who sit right beneath them. Both these teams 3-2, but the Stallions have the head-to-head, and, the Panthers can't get out of their own way. They just don't know what they're doing at the quarterback position. The Houston Roughnecks, the Houston Gamblers, are sitting right there, right behind both those guys, but they got some momentum. Watch out. And then you have the Showboats at 1-4. They beat the Stallions, so massive W there, but it's feeling really, really good right now. So takeaways for the first half of the season in the USFL. Sloppy Stallions. The Birmingham Stallions are the sloppiest we have ever seen. This is not your 2022 Stallions. This is not your 2023 Stallions. This is not your 2024 Stallions. This is a different kind of Birmingham Stallions where the defense, especially against the pass, not up to snuff. The offense isn't doing what they need to do. And they are just sloppy. Penalties out the wazoo, and you just cannot stand it. The Panthers, you're right there. You're right there. But you gotta just go out and take it. These XFL bums can't be beating you like those fucking Battlehawks. If you just put Bryce Perkins in the whole time, you'd be winning these games. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Roughnecks, sorry, gamblers, you are surging, you are winning, you are feeling yourselves, and you are the top of the bottom, which is what the USFL is really all about. It's bottoming from the top or topping from the bottom, however you want to say it. And for the Showboats, I just don't understand. I don't know. You're bad some weeks, you're great other weeks, but I feel like with Dresser winning, they have a shot to do some really good things here. It's going to be fun. This conference, my beautiful USFL, is going to, of course, surge to another championship game appearance and victory. I don't know if it'll be the Stallions. I don't know if it'll be the Roughnecks at this point. I don't know if it'll be the Panthers, but it's going to be somebody. And the USFL will, of course, crush the puny XFL into dust. Because XFL is trash. You are trash, XFL Jim. And XFL fans are also trash. Us USFL guys, we're the supreme. We have the big D's. We get the babes. We get the hot guys. We get it all. It's the USFL or bust. Suck it, Jim. Alright, XFL Jim here to guide you through the first half of the United Football League season, where we kind of forget about the conference that doesn't matter, USFL, and talk about the top of the top, the cream of the crop. Of course, you're mentioning the XFL. Sitting atop, we have the DC Defenders at 4-1. We have the Arlington Renegades and St Louis Battlehawks battling it out at 3-2. And then we have the San Antonio Brahmas in a surprising turn from making the championship game last year to being awful this year. So some takes from the XFL. DC, they're back to their old selves. It looks like it's prime 2023 Defenders, and it is a beauty to watch. The offense is humming. The defense is doing some things, even without Dr. Heat, and it's just amazing to watch a team humming like the DC Defenders are humming. The Renegades cannot finish. This team is awful in the second half. So they dominate in the first half of games. I think the first half Arlington Renegades are the best team in the league. And they just keep throwing away, keep pissing down their legs like when they did against the Stallions. The Brahmas. The Brahmas are lost. They have lost their leader. They have lost their OC. It's Peyton Party leading this team through the desert on a journey, on a vision quest. And they haven't found themselves yet. They're still kind of just walking through the forest, hoping to find something to bring them back. And they haven't found it yet. And the Battlehawks, they're on this tightrope. Especially now that they have Max Duggan. They're just walking this tightrope of really interesting, good wins against teams like Michigan, where Michigan kind of gave it to you in some aspects of it, and some bad losses against teams like Arlington. They're walking a tightrope, and I feel like if Michigan, I won't say, if they don't make the championship game, of course their fans will be very, very disappointed. I think if they miss out on the playoffs, people might be starting to get real mad at Anthony Becht. Now for the fun part, we're going to take a look at the records of the conferences. So the XFL right now versus the USFL, 5-3. Suck it. You guys suck. We rule. XFL is the king. USFL for old people that have dementia, don't know what they're talking about. The XFL is cool. USFL drools down their fucking pants because they piss themselves because they're big babies and also old people. But that's what it's about. That's what this league's about. It's about hate. It's about love. It's about coming together, united, to hate one another, divided by conferences. It's amazing. You suck, USFL Jim. I rule, XFL Jim. Back to you, UFL Jim. Game number 1, we had the Memphis Showboats versus the Birmingham Stallions, with the Showboats winning this one 24-20. Yes, you heard me right. The Memphis Showboats winning against the Birmingham Stallions, who had not been bested at home since I can't remember how long. It has been ages. Ages. Shodies. What a win. What a win. What a win. I'm going to put 3 N's on his name because Dresser fucking win. Did the damn thing. He went into Birmingham and he threw on him. He looked electric. He looked amazing, and this team has life breathed into it with this game. The defense we've been talking about, Memphis, has been feisty. They've been stout, and they got a lot of sacks on Case Cookus. Speaking of which, for us, like, true cook stands, our true kitchen lovers, our true cooks, this was a tough game. Not Case Cookus' best showing, but that's okay. He'll be back and stronger than ever. But damn, this game is about the Showboats. This game was back and forth. It was all over the place. What a great way to start Week 5. When we can look back in hindsight on what Week 5 was and how exciting it was, we got in for a nice treat. The best Friday night game of the season. Back and forth, and then it goes into OT, and the Stallions just couldn't do anything. I understand there was some weirdness. Memphis got that whole penalty thing, but I think I understand the rule. If you have a penalty where the ball would have been moved forward or it's a scoring play, they move it forward, and if you have another penalty, you get the points. I'm not exactly sure. We're going to need Dean Blandino here to maybe explain some things, but I don't have an Italian sandwich to offer him as sacrifice. So until then, you're going to have to remain confused. But damn, Memphis all of a sudden in the USFL conference, they're in it. Yes, you have Michigan and Birmingham sitting up top here. But guess what? They both lost last week. Houston is still in the mix. Memphis is now suddenly in the mix. It's crazy, and it's awesome, and it's exciting. Stallions. Not the same Stallions defense we are used to seeing. This defense, specifically the pass defense, is not up to snuff. They need to figure some things out. They have, still a good quarterback. I think with more time, Case Cookus in this system will work. He just needs to kind of get rid of the ball a little bit quicker. He has an issue holding on to the ball. And I think his body craves contact. I think Case Cookus craves getting hit. I think he likes it, which is a little interesting, in my opinion. But damn it, Shodies. Damn it. You did it. Oh. Game number 2, we had the Michigan Panthers taking on the St. Louis Battlehawks, where the Battlehawks won this one 32-27. I called this the battle of the potential frauds. The loser of this game officially gets named fraudulent. Michigan Panthers, I'm sorry, but we're stamping you with the fraud stamp. You are frauds, and you will continue and remain to be frauds as long as you have a guy in Mike Nolan who decides it is a wise decision to take out a potential front runner for the MVP of the league in Bryce Perkins and put in Danny Etling. Danny Etling, who, by the way, has led for zero scoring drives this season for the Michigan Panthers. It boggles the mind why you think this is a good idea. And this dominates this whole viewing because it dominates every time anyone talks about the Panthers because it makes no sense whatsoever. How can you respect a coach that does not put their team in the best position to win? Meanwhile, the Battlehawks, the St. Louis Battlehawks, they have Max Duggan on 1 week running the damn thing, making this offense work. Hakeem Butler comes back. First game of the season, has insane stats. 2 catches, hundreds of yards, and 2 touchdowns. The second that man puts on a uniform in a spring football league, it is pure sex appeal. And we saw that on full display tonight. Meanwhile, the Battlehawks defense did some good things in this one. Got some key interceptions, got some key stops. And also, the clutch factor for Battlehawks is Rodrigo Blankenship. He makes the difference for this team. He is such a reliable kicker that they can just sit back, play with no fear, and it's a fun way to watch. And I think with more time in the system, Max Duggan can come into his own and really make some things happen. This was a very important win for the St. Louis Battlehawks. They were on a 2-game slip, and now they are very much alive for the XFL conference. It feels like everything is coming together for the most exciting finish possible for the league, for the Battlehawks, for everything. And last but not least, how can he slap? How can Samson Nakua slap a fan? You gotta be better, man. I understand. I want to slap Battlehawks fans too. It's very understandable. But you gotta hold that anger in and channel it in better ways. Like me, for instance. I drink. Game number 3, we had the DC Defenders taking down the Arlington Renegades, winning this one 37-33 with an amazing comeback. Biggest comeback in UFL history. The Renegades did the Renegades thing. They got up early, and they just kind of fall apart in the second half. I don't understand what it is about the Renegades team. Maybe not making the best second half adjustments. Maybe not being able to kind of keep the momentum going. I don't know what it is. We've seen this now a few weeks from the Renegades. They get up to a big lead, and then it's up to them whether or not they can hold on to their big lead because they keep squandering. They squandered it this one because they got up nice. It was back and forth. They had a great offense going and defense in the first half, and then all of a sudden things just start falling apart. There's moments. There's the Luis Perez pick 6. There's bad special teams. There's just not any functioning offense. And we saw both aspects of both Luis Perez and Jordan Tomu on display today. There were some great passes from both guys, which we've come to expect, and some really iffy passes from both quarterbacks, which we've come to expect. It was everything that you want in a classic game like this. And the DC Defenders get their revenge for the 2023 XFL Championship. They get the monkey off their back, and special teams was huge in this one. DC had some breakout punt returns, some great kick returns. The run games for both teams were fun. The defenses were still fun for both teams, and the offenses were just blowing the hell up. I'm okay with DC deciding to use Tomu and just throw the ball 80 times a game. I don't care, because good or bad, it's very, very exciting. And that was the name of the game this Sunday morning. Excitement. This game had it all. What a great way to start your Sunday morning. What a great way to kind of cap off the week. It kind of felt like Friday was amazing, Saturday was great, and then Sunday was even better. And then, of course, it happened. Game number 4, the Houston Roughnecks versus the San Antonio Brahmas. The Roughnecks win this one 27-3. And I know I had a very bold prediction that this game was going to be the most exciting game of the weekend, and I was just flat wrong. I'll own that one. But I thought both teams coming in with some good momentum. The Brahmas had some life. The Roughnecks had some life. And the Brahmas home opener, which looked amazing, by the way. Shout out the folks in San Antonio. You come out and support your team. But, man, they let you down. The Brahmas let you down. And Kellen Mond, he had been looking better, looked awful. Jared Garantano looked awful. This offense, which had been clicking for the last couple weeks, looked awful for San Antonio. And, honestly, the biggest surprise of the season is how far the defense for the Brahmas has fallen. It is just... You look over on the Houston side. They're running it well. The defense is responding. Jalen McClendon is feeling himself. He is the truth. He is the way. He is the power for the Houston Roughnecks. They have a guy, and now that they are clicking, they are potentially very dangerous. Now, let's not jump ahead. They have beaten the Showboats, and they have beaten the Brahmas. We are not going to go crazy with it, but they have played a close game against the Stallions, and I think if they can keep this momentum going, they are going to be one of the more dangerous teams in this league. But the Brahmas, I don't understand. I just don't get it. You went from extremely hopeful in my book to just flat out hopeless, and this is not a winning formula. This is not a way to get fans in the stands. This is not a way to win games. We all like Peyton Party. I think he's doing a good job. He is stuck with some not great quarterback options in both Kellen Mond and Jared Garantano. I don't know if I love either of those guys. And it sucks because they have a lot of weapons. They have a great running back room. They have good receivers. I just don't love the quarterback play in San Antonio. And when you have a defense this putrid, you need a good offense to kind of balance it out. And they are not getting that right now. It's Jalen McClendon, baby. That's all you got to say. Jalen fucking McClendon. Also, I hope they keep CJ now because he is hilarious. This is like 3 weeks in a row we've gotten some awesome sound bites from him. He's good for at least one a week, it feels like. And of course, that leads me to my UFL Jim power rankings for week 5 of the UFL. At number 8, it is the San Antonio Brahmas. I don't understand how you go from a team that beats the DC Defenders, who you'll see why, and then loses to the Houston Roughnecks in an embarrassing fashion. At number 7, it is the Memphis Showboats. You get yourself out of last place. You get a win, and you get a win against the Stallions. That was almost enough to bump them up to 6th, but they do have the head-to-head loss versus my number 6, which is the Houston Roughnecks. They're feeling themselves. They have a newfound life, and I wonder if this energy can actually do something or if it's just a flash in the pan. At number 5, it is the Birmingham Stallions. They're feeling kind of lost right now. They're feeling in a bad way. They really need Matt Corral back. That's kind of where we're at right now. I love Case Cookus, but Matt Corral knows the offense, knows how to run it, and he'll be way smoother with it. I'm going to get Case Cookus to another team, if I'm being honest with you. At number 4, it's the Michigan Panthers. Until you just name Bryce Perkins as the full-time starter, this is an unserious franchise with an unserious head coach. At number 3, it's the St Louis Battlehawks. Getting her done with the Doug man, and I like seeing that. I love that. At number 2, it's the Arlington Renegades. They put up a hell of a fight. I feel like first half Arlington Renegades, best team in the league, easily. And then the second half, maybe bottom 3. Bottom 4 if I'm feeling real nice. And number 1, it's the DC Defenders. Back up on top, baby. Look at this team. They're number 1. They keep it going. This feels just like 2023. XFL Jim talked about it a little bit earlier, but this feels like 2023 when the Defenders were just kind of kings of the mountain, and then no one could take them down until the playoffs. Sans the Orlando Guardians when Quentin Dormady had like the best game of any spring football player ever for one game. And he's been kind of coasting on that sense, but still. Those are my power rankings. Once again, it's Brahmas, Showboats, Roughnecks, Stallions, Panthers, Battlehawks, Renegades, Defenders. If you don't like it, you're wrong. And that'll do it, folks. That is week 5 in the books. We had great matchups, fantastic games, and the environments couldn't be better. We're entering a fever pitch in the UFL right now. People are watching, people are waiting, people are listening into the community, into the league. This is a very important moment to keep the momentum running, to keep the awesome games going. If we can pick up steam and see more people tuning in near the end of the regular season, into the postseason, that we'll have the general public exactly where we want them, right by the cojones. And then we can give them a nice rub, give them a tug, give them a championship game worth talking about, and we will be set. The UFL is in a prime position for world domination. We just have to take it one step at a time. This was a great week 5. I'm looking forward to a great week 6. I'll see you on the preview. God, I love you guys, and I love the UFL.